everyone, and welcome back to Seduce Me! Last time, we danced in the sky with Sam. And you proposed to me, so there's that too. Anyway, we only have one last incubus to conquer the heart of. But first, I am gonna go and hang with my girls, Suzu and Naomi.
Are you sure?
Yep. I'm sure. I trust these guys to be able to work everything out.
Thank you for trusting us, miss.
You're welcome, James.
We'll have everything done for you by the time you return home.
Thanks, Eric.
Alright, we'll wait here while you go get your things.
Alright. I was strangely relieved to know that everything was going to be okay while I was gone from the house. I trusted the guys enough to do everything they could for this house party, so my mind focuses itself on hanging out with my friends. Eventually, I was out the door, walking towards Naomi's car with Naomi and Suzu, who I grabbed... Suzu grabbed the entire backseat as I took the passenger side. Naomi started the car and drove off towards the city. It was nice driving out with my friends. After all that had happened, it was good to just go out and forget my troubles.
Well, since we got you out of the house, we might as well go to the mall and walk around a bit. We did just eat breakfast after all.
Sounds good. Yeah, that was a good meal though.
Could have had more flavor in my opinion.
Could have been more spicy? Is that what you mean, Suzu?
Suzu, you eat chili peppers when you're bored. Everything you eat always needs more flavor.
You need to teach me, Suzu. Yeah, you need to teach me how to not catch it. You need to teach me how to not feel like your mouth is on fire when you're eating chili peppers.
You just need to eat spicy food all the time. You gotta tame your mouth.
Or you could just destroy the inside of your mouth. That's what it sounds like to me.
Tame your mouth? Really, Suzu?
Sounds difficult.
Anyways, after the mall, what do you want to do? We could go to the Pink Lady Cafe and chill out with Kay. I'm sure she'd love the company.
The Pink Lady Cafe, huh? Like the Pink Lady Cafe in Valentine Panic?
But we have to stop by the arcade. They have this new game out called Orion. You get to control this guy named Isaku, and you're part of the rebel forces, and you get to shoot things, and there's robots, and...
Calm down, Suzu, you're getting a little bit excited there. It would be interesting to play Orion, though.
Sheesh, we get it, Suzu, we get it. We'll go to the arcade.
Which one first, though? You know how popular Kay is. She'll be swamped with customers later in the day.
I'd rather go in the late afternoon. She has better options during the last hour of the cafe.
So basically after the arcade?
You figured me out so quickly, Patterson.
What did I tell you about using my last name?
Well, she uses my last name too, so... Well, let's go to... the arcade. In case it's not clear by now, we're going down Suzu's route. On a side note, I love the music in the arcade. It sounds very retro. Very arcade-like. So we headed to the mall and walked around for a good amount of time before driving out to Moonfall Arcade. As weird as the name sounded, the arcade was one of the best arcades in the city. Kids and teenagers lined the games, watching the players at the consoles as they anxiously awaited to have their turn. Why did I say awaited?
Oh, there it is! There it is!
Suzu grabbed Naomi and me by the hands before dragging us to a section of the arcade where a bunch of kids had gathered in awe and excitement. In the middle of the crowd was a large game with 2 joystick platforms and a screen that flashed the name Orion every other second. In the background of the screen, a holographic playfield glimmered before us, revealing a neo-futuristic battlefield and an enemy robot charging right at the camera.
This is the game you were excited about?
It looks really cool.
That's right! And I'm gonna play it so hard I'll beat the game in one shot.
Good luck with that. Suzu smirked and looked at me, hoping that I would join her as I usually did for partner games. I looked at Naomi, who merely rolled her eyes, crossed her arms, and gave me the okay nod. I grinned before nodding to Suzu, who cheered in joy.
Woohoo! Alright, let's do this!
Let's do this! It took us a good half hour before we were able to up to the platforms. The point of the game was to beat the government and restore freedom to the general public. We played as rebels and a robot, and the game quickly became a smash and dash game versus multiple enemy robots. Playing with Suzu was always an adventure. We both knew that what our strengths and weaknesses were, so it was easy to collaborate with each other. It wasn't long before we got into the swing of the game and were beating enemies like crazy. By the time we got to the boss, we were unstoppable. It was so refreshing to beat the boss and put our 3-letter code names into the high score list.
And that is how you game. We are unstoppable, Anderson.
Suzu gave me a large smile, which made me smile back. I was happy to be able to hang out and have fun with my friends like this. I felt free from worries or responsibilities. It was something I loved. We eventually lost track of the time and wound up staying longer than we expected, making us unable to stop at the cafe before going home to dress for the housewarming party. Aww. Sorry, Kay. Sorry, Naomi. So we drove back. Naomi and Suzu picked up clothes and other necessities from their houses before driving back to the mansion. And the house party happened. And now it is Sunday, and we have no boys to look for. So, what shall we do? Well, we could go to the arcade, or Grandfather's grave, or in my room, or the Pink Lake Cafe. But we all know where we're going. I arrived at the arcade, ready to spend some cash on some fun games. I didn't want to be stuck at home on a Sunday. Besides, the arcade always had something new to play, no matter how often you came. I began to wander the aisles of machines, scanning over them to find a good game to play. I had played a lot of the games already with Suzu, so it was just a matter of finding a good one. What finally caught my attention was a crowd of people surrounding a group of machines. I got closer and peeked at the crowd to see none other than Suzu, sitting in a racing game versus 2 other players who were on the same machine behind Suzu's. From the looks of it, Suzu was losing, and that was causing her angered face.
You're going down!
Kiss my Italian ass!
Oh, okay. I wonder how you say, hey, kiss my... I wonder what the phrase, kiss my butt, is like in Italian. I stifled a giggle, watching Suzu remain playful under stress. She was adorable but feisty, truly a spicy Italian. I observed as Suzu finally caught up to her opponents and passed them with ease.
What the? Hurry it up!
Later, losers!
Later, losers! The crowd began to cheer, watching Suzu beat out the guys and slide into first place. As the lights and sounds began to blare in celebration, the 2 jerks left the machine in a huff and Suzu stood up.
Good game, everyone.
Nice job! Slowly, the crowd began to disperse, leaving me standing to applaud for Suzu alone. Suzu smiled as she finally saw me, walking over to me.
Hey, what brings you here?
Oh, not much. Just wanted to play a few games. I didn't want to be stuck at home, so I came here. I needed to have some fun after yesterday.
Yeah, man, I get you. Yesterday was full of tightwad business guys, and me and Naomi were pretty uncomfortable, too.
Really? I'm really sorry about that. Suzu laughed and waved her hand in dismissal of it. She then leaned against the racing game and put her hands in her pockets.
So what do you plan on doing here?
Playing games? I mean, that's what you do in arcades, isn't it? I just want to have some time alone and play some games. No. Let's play a game together.
Oh, really? What game do you think you could beat me at?
I think we could do some major damage and beat our high scores in robot extermination. Suzu grinned from ear to ear, nodding before taking my hand and heading over to the machine in question. It was cute to see Suzu like this. She was always the adventurous type, and I loved that side of her beyond anything. I guess that's what kept our friendship strong for so long. Eventually, we did reach a large machine covered in images of robots disguised as animal mascots and blood. We took over our plastic guns and swiped our game cards across the credit slot, giving our credits to the game to play.
You take left, I take right?
As usual, let's go! The game quickly started up, and we blasted our way through hordes of robots, landing more headshots than professional shooter tournament players. Suzu and I had played this game so often, it had pretty much become our go-to high score game. We always kept the top 5 spots on the leaderboard for ourselves. As we finished the first level, though, we were stunned to see the new leaderboard at the loading screen.
Someone took number 1?
Oh no, we can't have that!
target level, right?
Mm-hmm. Suzu looked at me with a very familiar deadly look in her eyes. She was determined to regain number 1. So was I. We knew what this meant. No deaths, quick reloads, and consistent headshots and Easter egg points. The whole experience itself ran 2 hours straight, with the main game and its sequel programmed into the machine. Once you finished one, you immediately began the next until you reached the end of the second game. At least it had some cutscenes take place between. It'll be tough, but we got this. Susan and I, before putting her game card in the breast pocket of her jacket and readying herself for the next level, I braced myself for a long game.
Hey Anderson, let's make this a little more fun. Whoever has the least amount of headshots has to treat the other to lunch.
I already ate lunch, though. It's almost 2 p.m., Suzu.
There's such a thing as late lunch.
Alright, you're on!
Second level, start.
Alright, let's do this. And we were off! Virtual bullets began to fly across the screen, slamming into the heads of multiple robots and causing them to fall to the floor and die out. One by one, Susan and I burned through the game like our lives depended on it. We eventually had a crowd form behind us, cheering us on and offering us food so that we wouldn't have to leave the machine. Most of them were guys who liked the girl on gun action, but some of them were actually excited bystanders, hoping that we would take back our high score. You know, I kinda had a thought. What if the people who took our high score were the same guys who you know what? I'm just gonna focus on this. We snacked a bit, taking breaks between cutscenes and level changes, but we remained true to our goal. Eventually, we made it to the final boss, a giant black bear robot with red eyes and deadly attacks.
Let's go, Anderson!
Yes, let's go! Right behind you! The crowd behind us began to cheer as we began our final battle. Our legs were a little wobbly, but we were too into the game to care. All we cared about was the large red bar at the top of the screen slowly emptying with each bullet we fired into the boss's body. We only had a few shots left when someone called out,
You girls suck!
"You suck!" Without missing a shot, Susan and I replied at once,
You wish we did!
"You wish we did!" Before laying the final blow to our opponent, the death cutscene flashed and played on the screen, the scream of the robot bear booming through the speakers. Susan and I weren't excited just yet. We were waiting for the high score screen to appear. It was the final high score screen of the entire game, so it was the most important screen in our eyes. Come on, come on!
New high score.
Yes! The screen popped up, revealing our SCA as the number 1 score in the game, knocking down our mysterious MAL opponent to second place. The crowd behind us went ballistic as Suzu and I hugged each other tightly in joy. It was like stepping over a major milestone, despite it only being an arcade game. We did it! Woohoo! The second stat screen came up, separating Suzu and I from our hug of delight. In matters of accuracy, I was better. However, Suzu had more kills than headshots, making her the winner of our little bet.
Booyah! Free lunch!
Alright. Where to, boss?
I just want some drive-thru food. I've been eating way too many home-cooked meals, man. I need at least one unhealthy meal.
Suzu's family was indeed an Italian family, but they were very self-conscious about their food. They were quite possibly the healthiest family I knew. Susan and I left the arcade, occasionally stopping to be given praise or be asked a question about our gaming skills. We eventually headed out to the parking lot, where a decently used jade motorcycle sat with chains around its wheels. Suzu quickly took off the chains and took a seat on the bike, getting out 2 helmets, placing one on her own head, and ushering me to sit behind her. I followed her gesture and made myself comfortable on the leather seat behind her, putting on one of the helmets, and wrapping my arms around her waist. I had ridden with her on her motorcycle before, so this was nothing new to me. This was nothing new to us. Suzu revved the engine and quickly sped out of the lot, driving into the streets towards a fast food joint.
Prefer Paradise Parlor sound good? I'd love some Paradise Nuggets and cheese fries.
Sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. We went through the drive-thru and ordered meals for ourselves before heading to my home. Suzu parked in the front, watching me dismount from her bike.
Thanks for late lunch.
You're welcome. It might as well be dinner now. Susan and I laughed. It was funny how time flew by. Wanna stick around and eat together?
Huh? Oh, nah man, I gotta head back home and watch Francesca while my folks meet up with some bigwigs from the casino.
Okay. Oh, okay. See you in school then.
Thanks though. See ya!
I waved at Suzu as she quickly headed out of the gates and back home. I smiled as I watched her go before heading back inside. Suzu stuck around in my mind for a little longer than I expected, but I couldn't help but smile. And then all the stuff with Malix happens, and we get to after Diana took our memories and we're at school. As we entered the school, we quickly gathered our things from our lockers and headed to class. There were no events, to my surprise. Naomi and Suzu took their seats around me, Suzu in front of me, Naomi beside me, before the class bell rang and the class was greeted by our teacher. History wasn't as boring as economics, but I still managed to space out in that class just the same. Suzu seemed to be very tense, focused on her desk more so than usual. I was almost tempted to poke her and see what was wrong. My phone, though, vibrated in my pocket. Thank God I set it on vibrate before class. I pulled out my phone and checked it, seeing a text from Naomi. I began to text back, suddenly going into a text conversation.
Hey, do you know what's wrong with Suzu?
I don't know. But it's good to know that you're concerned too, Naomi. I don't know.
Oh, I hope she's okay. She looks so stern.
Same here. I looked over once again at Suzu. She was intensely scribbling in her notebook, almost obsessively so. The grip on her new-looking purple pencil... Oh gosh darn it, the purple pencils again! The purple pencils from Andrew's route! It's almost tight enough to bend it each stroke she made with it.
Oh, by the way, did you hear?
What? Hear about what?
Apparently, Suzu's family is really involved with the mob. My dad told me he saw Suzu's dad in court this morning with a big-time crime boss.
Aw, crap. Really? I couldn't believe it. Was Suzu okay? I looked over once more. Something made my heart slightly skip at seeing her again. I was worried, yes, but for some reason I felt a little sad. Suzu had always sworn up and down that her family had no relations with crime lords, yet this happened. Why was this happening? I put my phone back into my pocket, ending the conversation. Hopefully, Suzu would explain things to me soon. I was worried beyond belief about Suzu's position with her family. Time continued until the end of the class period in the exact same status. Suzu held her tense ground, focusing on nothing but the incoherent scribbles on her paper, while Naomi and I watched on in worry, not caring for the class we were in. As the bell rang, Suzu stood up suddenly.
I gotta go. See you guys later.
Oh no. Suzu zipped out of class like she was fleeing the devil himself.
What just happened?
I don't know. Oh no, we're not gonna leave her alone! I needed to see what was wrong. Suzu was important to me and I needed to help her. I instantly grabbed my things and rushed out of the room.
Whoa! Where are you going? Hey!
I wasn't listening. I needed to get to Suzu. The hall was full of students, which made spotting Suzu a little harder. I wish she was just a little taller. Suzu! I began to push through the crowd, trying to find a trace of her. Her hair, her jacket, anything! I managed to get a glimpse of her green jacket, instinctively following it down the hall into the classroom. Suzu's class was the other way. Where was she going? I continued following and peeked into the classroom, seeing no one else in there but Suzu. What shocked me was seeing Suzu standing over an empty desk, slamming her fists into the wood. I didn't know what to do. The world behind me in the hall went in slow motion as I stared at Suzu's back. She obviously wanted to be alone, but I wanted to help her and fix whatever was bothering her. How about we help her, okay? I couldn't leave her like this. I quietly stepped into the room and closed the door, making Suzu flinch and freeze up. Suzu? Suzu gasped before turning to me, a shocked expression on her face. Tears had painted her cheeks, which made my heart sink in my chest. Suzu, what's wrong?
It's nothing. Nothing.
It's obviously not nothing. Suzu quickly rubbed her eyes and face, trying to cover her face and clean it of sadness. I pressed my lips together, not believing her. Suzu, talk to me. You're acting strange in history.
I was just listening to the lecture.
You were scribbling in your notebook. I was watching almost the entire class period.
I have bad handwriting.
That was true, but she wouldn't write notes about class. She didn't care much for class, unlike Naomi and me. Why was she lying to me? What was going on? What was making her so distraught? Suzu, whatever is troubling you, let me help you.
You can't help me, okay?
Oh, yes. I stepped back, feeling the sudden anger in her voice. She covered her mouth, regretting what came out of it, and stared in almost pure fright at me. Suzu. I stepped towards her, not wanting to scare her, but wanting to be closer. Suzu didn't seem affected, so I continued to walk towards her. Eventually, we were only a desk away from each other. Tell me. Suzu stared before letting out a shuddering sigh, gnawing in defeat. I slowly took a seat in the desk in front of me, watching as she moved to stand in front of it.
I've been having some issues, okay?
Issues? What about?
I'm supposed to help out the casino after graduation.
Isn't that good? It's a job, so it'll pay.
Yeah, pay. And blood money.
Blood? Money? Oh, crap. What do you mean? Is something going on with the casino?
Yeah, I get the pleasure of being a true Italian.
What do you mean?
Well, Dad's always wanted to own a casino, but my dad's an immigrant and whatever, so language barriers kept him from doing that. Luckily, my mom's pure Chicagoan, and so she knows English. When they opened up the casino together, I thought it'd be a great experience.
But it wasn't, was it?
A couple of suits showed up to our house last night. Mafia suits. They claimed that we were under protection as part of the Capone family.
No way, Suzu!
Look, I knew my family was a little messed up, but to be related to Capone was beyond crazy. My mother swore up and down that she had no relation to them, but apparently, through a marriage and a couple contracts, we're technically part of the family.
Ah, crap.
Even if it isn't true, they made my folks sign out a protection license.
It was crazy. Al Capone was the Chicago mobster Robin Hood, but knew how to keep a family together. I never knew Suzu's family was so involved. With Suzu so protective of her family, it's no wonder she was upset. She preached so often that her family wasn't involved in things like that. Even Naomi defended her. I had to stop. This wasn't helping Suzu. I needed to help her feel better beyond anything else. So what happens to you?
Nothing. We pay a part of our profit to the family, and we're protected. Protected my ass. It's bribe money to make sure we don't lose business or get bombed.
Suzu stared down at the desk between us, her hands tightening into fists.
This is bullshit. I was gonna be normal, I was gonna be happy, I was gonna finally be normal enough to ask you out!
What was that? What was that last part? I felt like I was dreaming. What? She wanted to ask me out? Huh? What? How? Suzu covered her mouth and stared up at me as if she had slapped me and regretted moving her hand. I stared, lost in my own thoughts. Suzu pounded the desk with her fists again.
Fuck! This is great! Just great! Just turn around.
Oh no, Suzu! Suzu! I stood and turned around, obeying her. Lost in my own train of thought, I needed to do something. I needed to do anything I could to help her subconsciously. I could hear Suzu grumbling to herself.
This is stupid. Stupid! You might as well go. I mean, this is...
Suzu groaned. I could feel her mixed emotions radiate onto my back. I felt myself step forward, away from Suzu in reaction. Quickly, though, Suzu grabbed hold of my vest. I froze, breaking from my own thoughts.
I like you. I really do, okay?
Suzu. I felt my heart flutter in flattery. Suzu, one of my best friends, liked me. I wasn't sure what to say. Suzu's grip on my on my vest tightened, pulling me slightly. I wanted to turn and hug her, but right now she needed to let her emotions out.
I like you, but I don't want to ask you out like this. I don't want people to think you're affiliated with the Mafia kid. This whole situation is just messed up, and
I felt my heart drop. She cared about me and wanted to protect me from her reputation. I was flattered, but at the same time I was angry. She was my best friend, and she liked me enough to confess her feelings to me despite her situation. What could I say to her, though? This was a huge deal for her, both her and me. She had been one of my best friends for the majority of my life, and here she was, confessing to having a crush on me. It was surreal, yet it made me feel both strange and fluffy. Suzu sighed and let go of my vest. I turned around to see her run her fingers through her hair.
look, I'm sorry. I guess I needed to vent. I feel better now.
I couldn't help but stare at Suzu longer. Was she not expecting me to say anything in return? A sentence bubbled in my stomach, forcing itself out of my mouth without filter. Suzu, will you go out with me? I did not know what came over me. I let it spill out. I liked her, though. I liked her a lot. She was bad but and cute in her own special way. I loved that she was an individual and stayed true to herself no matter what Naomi or I did. Sure, she was a little aggressive, but that added to the charm. Suzu stared wide-eyed at me, blushing as red as could be. I was positive that if she blushed any more, she would faint from all of the blood rushing into her cheeks that colored them that red.
Did you just...
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I stepped forward and gently took Suzu's hand. I needed her to know how I felt. She poured her feelings out to me. It was more than fair to share mine with her. I really like you too. You're adorable and I love that about you. You're caring and fun and you have this sort of charm. Suzu, will you go out with me? Suzu was completely red in the face, but her eyes started to water. Rogue tears dripped from the edges of her eyes as she almost glared at me.
But what about...
Who cares about the Mafia? I don't care. We'll deal with it as it comes, but for now, I want to be with you. Truly. When I said who cares about the Mafia, I meant like, who cares if I'm affiliated? Who cares if people see me as being affiliated with the Mafia kid? Like, all that matters is that we love each other, you know? Suzu stared before rushing at me and hugging me tightly, burying her face in my chest. I held her tightly, wanting to comfort her. I felt a small part of my heart fill with pure joy. I felt happy, like nothing was going to stand in our way. Months went by since Suzu's confession. We were happy, and eventually graduation came along. The rest of the story could almost be passed over, and we're going to pass over it. I let my mind wander to my future, which we happened to skip through. Before my phone started ringing, I instantly picked it up. Hello?
Hey, can I come over?
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. What's wrong?
I just need to see you, okay?
Okay, I'll see you in a bit. I grew worried. What was wrong? Did something happen? My mind began to sort through possibilities that could have occurred with Suzu. Soon enough, I heard Suzu's motorcycle pull up to the gate. I rushed to the front doors and opened to see Suzu looking at me with seriously distressed eyes.
Tell me you love me.
Okay. I love you. What? Suzu, what's...
Just tell me.
Alright, I love you, okay?
You love me?
I love you. I love you a lot, okay? Now what? Before I knew it, Suzu rushed me and held me tightly. I gasped, but I wrapped my arms around Suzu, trying to comfort her despite my confusion. She obviously needed some love right now. I would get my answers when she was okay.
I love you too. I never felt like this with anyone.
Shh. It's okay, Suzu. It's okay. I held her close, petting her head gently. When Suzu relaxed in my arms, she looked up at me, tears in her eyes.
My parents want you to come over for dinner.
Wait, what?
My parents want to meet you as my girlfriend. They were shocked when they found out you and I were together, and it's really embarrassing. I don't want you to feel pressured, but they're serious. And now that they're connected with the mob, then...
Suzu! Shh, shh. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I placed a finger over her lips, making her stare up at me in surprise. I would love to have dinner with your folks as your girlfriend. I'd do anything for you. Suzu, who smiled wildly up at me, more tears falling down her cheeks. She wrapped her arms up under my arms and kissed me lovingly, surprising me. As soon as she did, though, she pulled away.
I didn't mean to.
Feeling bold, I grabbed her hand and pulled her back to me, wrapping my arms around her and kissing her with the same amount of love she gave me. She was shocked, but as I felt her relax in my arms, she kissed me back. I didn't want to wake up if this was indeed a dream. I felt light as a feather, not wanting to ever let go of this woman in my arms. There were no words that could describe the emotions within me. I felt joy, happiness, ecstatic, high, all at once. Here I was, holding the woman I wanted to be with like nothing else mattered. I vowed to cherish her and love her for the remainder of my days and beyond. And that was my happily ever after. And Suzu's love. And that wraps up the first of the girl routes, the Yuri routes, if you will, or lesbian routes, in any case, of Seduce Me. So anyway, see you after the credits! Okay, so that was Suzu's route of Seduce Me. You can really see how there is more to Suzu than there appears to be on the surface. And you know what? I really do like Suzu. So anyway, next time, I promise we will finally get to the last of the incubi, which is Matthew. Alright, anyway, thank you all for watching, be sure to leave a like, and see ya in the next one! Yep!